Yo, what is up? I didn't have a video for you today, but I managed to pull out one from the what replace files, and today we are watching STAT in the LPC TL-1, the offspring tank, or the tier 8 premium tank from the USA. And I have the winners of this tank announced a bit later on, so stay tuned for that. But first I wanted to share a little bit about this tank. Remember to subscribe and turn on your notifications, especially if you are here for the mod pack videos. I will have a new mod pack video up probably tomorrow or the day after for the 1.61 drop. Also, please give this video a like. It does help my channel out a lot, and I can't thank you enough for your support. So anyway, what's up with this tank? Well, this is a tier 10 matchup, and you're gonna see this tank do like 5k damage and Radley Walters 8 kills. Amazing tank. What's the big deal about this tank? Well, 280 damage, 280 alpha strike with 280 penetration on the heat. Now my man here, he is rolling with the standard shells at the moment, which gives you 208 penetration, which is not the greatest, but not bad at all for tier 8, considering a lot of other tanks are rolling in the 190 penetration mark. So 208 standard penetration is pretty good, but as soon as he bounces his first shot, he's gonna straight away default to his premium heat shells. Now mind you, these are the premium shells are heat, and heat with 1200 meters per second shell velocity. This gun shoots like a laser when it's firing premium shells. That's what's special about this tank. Now the gun is a little bit derpy sometimes. It doesn't make 100% of its shots, but when it does, it is extremely effective. Now, what can you compare this tank with? Well, of course you need to compare it with its adopted brother, the T95E2, the one that they gave away when you were like doing the invite a friend program thing in the last iteration. Of course, I, being the idiot that I was, created a brand new account just to grind out that tank. Played 1,000 games in that account just to get the T95E2 in my main account, and it's not a big deal tank. T95E2 181 penetration compared to this tank 208 penetration. It's not a big deal, but back in the day when the T95E2 was a new tank, it was pretty good. It was okay. I mean, it was a competitive tank. But nowadays, when you're playing up against tanks like the TL-1 LPC, the offspring tank, the T44-100, the Primo Victorias, I'll be honest with you, the T95E2 is really outdated tank. If you want to be up to date in the current tanks, the competitive tanks, you're talking about Primo Victorias, T44-100s, and this tank, the TL-1 LPC. Again, what's special about this tank? 280 penetration, 280 damage per shot. Yes, the reload time is pretty bad, 8.44 seconds. You can get it down to about 7.5 seconds if you have all the crew and food and whatnot. But look at that armor, it bounces armor, trolls armor. He is actually pushing a tier 9 257 right now as we speak. He missed that shot because that was a bad shot. That wasn't a trollish gun, that was a bad shot. But when you're in this tank and you are brave enough to take on a tier 9 257 Soviet heavy tank with the troll armor, that says how strong this tank is. Not only can you like semi-rely on its frontal armor, which has amazing sloped armor, but also 280 pen, you're not going to be afraid of this 257. You're not going to be afraid of it at all. You can expect to bounce a little bit, you can expect to pen him all the time, and that's what's wrong with this tank. I mean, it's not like it's overpowered for for the general population, for the majority of the people that want to buy this tank, they're not going to say this tank is overpowered. They're not going to say this tank is going to take them to a higher level of World of Tanks gaming. But this tank in the hands of good players with like maybe 8,000 personal rating or 2,000 WN8 players, this tank is going to be really good for those guys. If you are an above average player or an experienced player, this tank is going to be amazing for you. If you know how to hull down, if you know how to work your 9 degrees of gun depression, this tank is going to be amazing for you. And if it's going to be amazing for you, it's going to be suck for someone else, right? It's going to suck for someone else. Well, it's going to suck for who? It's going to suck for guys who are driving Tech 3 tanks. I'm going to be honest with you. If you are in a Tech 3 tank, if you're grinding your way up to tier 10 tanks in your pleb Tech 3 tanks, you're going to come up against a TL-1 LPC. Man, you're going to be bullied, you're going to be pushed around, you're going to find it difficult to compete with a tank like this. And you know, that's what's going to suck about this tank. It's going to be great for players who know how to play this tank, but for the rest of you guys, sorry man, I'm sorry that you're going to have to come up against this tank. You're going to have to come up against tanks like the T-44 100s or another good player in a Primo Victoria who knows how to use the DPM and penetration of that tank to just outmaneuver you and bully you. I'm sorry for that, man, but that's what this game is turning into. You need to have premium account, you need to have some kind of capable premium tank at tier 8 for you to grind credits on. Yeah, that's what this game is about right now. Unfortunately, unless they find a way to balance out the matchmaking, balance out the Tech 3 tanks, that's the direction that this game is going at the moment. It's good for some people, but it's gonna suck for some other people. Oh yeah, before I forget, the winner that I have selected to get this tank credited into their account is Taufu. So Taufu, please get in touch with me. Let me know your IGN so that I can tell Wargaming to credit this tank into your account. Congratulations to you, Taufu. I hope you enjoyed this tank as much as I've enjoyed playing this tank as well. I'm really enjoying this tank because I know how to use it, and this guy Estet as well, he knows how to use this tank, so he knows how to push these tanks to its limit, take advantage of its premium shells. In my opinion anyway, I believe this tank should be played with premium shells all the time, because that is what is making this tank very special, out of this world, makes this tank super competitive. If you are shooting premium shells with 280 penetration and 280 damage, you can fight against tier 10 tanks, you can fight against tier 9 tanks, you can bully your way against tier 8 tanks. If you are a semi-competent player who knows how to work, you know how to work your 9 degrees of gun depression, you know how to hull down a little bit, you know how to use your mobility, wiggle a little bit to avoid getting penetrated. You know, you've got that sloped armor in the front working for you, you've got that rounded turret armor of the pattern working for you. If you wiggle a little bit, keep yourself moving, make yourself a difficult target to shoot. Don't give your enemy a flat target, don't give your enemy a stationary target. If you know how to work your way, wiggle your way, dance your way on the dance floor, you can make this tank really work for you and really push out those high damage numbers for yourself. So the only downside of this tank, I mentioned this before in my first video, in my reaction video, is the crew training shit. That's the problem. The commander in this crew needs the situational awareness. But unfortunately for your T20, your Pershing, your patterns, situational awareness is in your loader, so that fucking sucks. The perfect crew, the perfect match crew for this tank is going to be your T-54E1 the autoloader in tier 9 or the T69 tier 8 autoloader. Again, remember to subscribe if you're here for the first time, because you learned something today, right, about the crew thing. I know you didn't know that earlier, but now you know. If you have a Patton, if you have a T20, if you have a Pershing, your commander isn't going to have situational awareness, which this tank needs. Situational awareness in the commander, so you're gonna have to spend gold or some shit to retrain your commander into this tank with situational awareness or something. So that's the only thing that sucks about this tank if you're going to use it as a crew trainer, but it's going to work for you if you have a T54E1 or a T69 tier 8 autoloader. So those are the only two tanks that will fit perfectly into this tank. But anyway, let's get back to Estet. In this game, he has got 7 kills now. His last kill is coming, of course. It's on that UDES 14-15. These kind of games, these Radley Walters games, they don't come without any kind of luck on your side. You need some luck on your side, and here you're gonna see a little bit of luck work for him. He snapshots there and bounces him off. Why? Because he's using the heat shells shooting into the tracks. Of course, heat shells don't work on the tracks, sometimes they absorb it, but he gets a little bit lucky there with his troll armor. The UDES does not penetrate him because he shot his upper plate or some shit like that, and so there you go, a little bit of luck on his side. It grants him a Radley Walters, one of those Nichols medal and a Fadin's medal or something like that for killing the artillery as well. I'm not too sure, but that's how amazing this tank is. You're going to see a lot of videos like this, pushing 5,000, 8,000 damage, 8 kills, 9 kills, 10 kills. Man, this tank is going to be amazing, but you're going to lose credits on it because if you're playing it the right way, you're going to be shooting a lot of premium shells. So congratulations again, Taufur. Get in touch with me. Thanks for watching this video for the rest of you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.